Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the One Person Big Difference team call. Hi, saw the waves. My name's Tanya Sheldon. I am an executive consultant one out of Meridian, Idaho. And if you are new to this Zoom tonight, I welcome you. And we are so happy that you are here with us. And I'm so proud of you for plugging into this Zoom tonight. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. I was asked to lead the Zoom tonight. I picked this date for a reason because I knew I would be coming off a leadership training that one of our presidential consultants, Carrie Dickie, was having over the weekend. It's the first time she's ever done that. And before the weekend started, I had notes of how this Zoom was going to go. And then after the weekend, that all changed. So I'm going to read to you a little something from Bob Heilig that kind of set me on the trajectory for the theme for tonight. It goes like this. People see a tremendous amount of value in owning a Louis Vuitton purse, even when they don't have the money for it. They never go on sale. Unsold merch is destroyed, and they successfully warn customers not to buy them secondhand because it is possible to get a fake. Are they missing out on revenue because they never have a sale? Not even sort of. Is burning unsold merchandise a bad business move? Well, not really. It allows them to charge premium prices. And there's still a line out the door every time there's a new product dropped. All this because I want to ask you a question. Do people see this level of value in working with you? Do you give your time out to just anyone, effectively discounting the value of your time? Or do you choose wisely whom you give your time to? And talk about your business like it's a unique opportunity only for those who are truly interested and willing to work at it. Some of you need to stop portraying your business like it's the dollar store, cheap and easy for anyone, and start talking about it like it's Louis Vuitton. So here's the thing. I know that when I read that, some of you, based on what I just said about dollar store versus Louis Vuitton, you hear me talking about, and you hear products, how you're portraying the products to the people. And am I talking about them correctly? Am I sharing the right information? Your head goes right to the products. But that's not what I said, is it? I said, do people see this level of value in working with you? Are you valuing your own time? Are you valuing yourself? I went to Carrie's conference this past weekend, and I went with some team members. Guys, I'm going to cry through this, okay? It's my superpower. It's what I do. And it's because I'm thinking about you. So one of my team members went to find her voice for the first time in her life. She went to find her voice. One of them went to find excuses to quit. One of them went to continue to work on getting rid of fear. And one went because she's had some really hard seasons of life. She needed a restart. They went to learn about themselves. So how do you take this business seriously? I was going to bring you technicalities. I was going to show you how to find stuff. I was going to tell you, check Telegram on your own, stop waiting on other people, stop texting people and asking them what's going on, figure it out. But instead, you take your business seriously by taking yourself seriously. We're not going to talk about technicalities. You cannot rely on the company to do the work for you. You cannot rely on a product to take us to the next level. You cannot rely on your upline to help take you to the next level. The next level of anything is on you. I've been doing this business for 13 years almost. And do you think I wanted to always show up? Do you think my seasons of life were always easy? You remember the times you didn't want to show up and you did anyway, so much more than the times you didn't show up at all. And why? Because you remember how you felt when you showed up. You remember what it did for you when times were really hard. There's the saying that says you are not your company when it comes to your customers. Customer service, taking care of them, that is up to you. You provide the value. Des Mamet made that very clear last week, right? And the same thing is true when it comes to this company hitting $500 million. Getting there is not up to the corporate staff, and it's not up to the company. And it's not up to the next best product. It's up to you and I. Growing this company starts by growing yourself. It's doing the hard work. Growing yourself gives you belief in yourself. When you have belief in yourself, you put in more action. And when you put in the action, you get results and you start growing. You create your own momentum. Growth is figuring out why you have the limiting beliefs you do. It's asking yourself why you're not committing to showing up every week. It's finding out why you rely on your upline and announcements before just going out and finding them yourself. It's checking your Telegram and your messages before texting your upline for the information. It's on you. We truly don't get anywhere unless we're willing to do the hard things, as hard as it feels. And when I say hard things, I'm not asking you to unravel every layer of your childhood to discover why you continue to think so small. I'm just telling you to start. And start by committing to showing up every week. Listen to the calls, listen to the playbacks, because every season of life has us hearing the information in a different way. Start by going against the grain and doing what the majority of this company, the people in this company, won't do. That's how you're going to grow. And I heard more than once, enough, in the past few months, I heard directly that your life just always looks so perfect. And then I heard someone tell me that someone said, Tanya's life just always looks like it's so perfect. And that's not how it's been. So I'm gonna give you a little synopsis. And I'm not giving you the synopsis for empathy, my goal is tonight is to relate to you so that you know you can do exactly what I've done. So I got into the business in 2011. I hit Pro 4 in 2014. And then I didn't balance again until 2020. 6 years later, I didn't balance. And in that time, in that 6 years in between, my husband was coming home from a workout one day, and in the midst of drying off his face, he hit a girl crossing the street. I want you to know she's okay. This was in 2017. So without going through all the details, cops came to our house. They took him away. They locked him up. I had to figure out bail. We were at the courthouse all the time. His name was on the news. His name was on the Facebook page for the news. It was terrifying. It was humiliating. It was embarrassing. I was ashamed. I was worried. I was resentful. I didn't know what to think. And he was prosecuted. He was put in work release for 3 months. And his car, that this accident happened, they took his car and pounded it. And this is funny though, you guys. They put his car in the wrong lot. And his lot was used for practice. And it was blown up by hand grenades. Can you believe that? His car was blown up. So we had one car at the time, and I was raising 2 little girls, and I could not pick up my husband in the morning from his place, wherever he was, and take him to work and pick him up every day. I had to rely on other people to help me. And he, once he got out, he had to do a lot of community service. And he also couldn't drive for close to a year. And he was on probation he just got off probation like about 1.5 years ago, probably less than that. And he lost his job during this and started a new job. And in early 2020, life seemed to have leveled out a little bit. We were going to sell our house and buy a new construction home, a brand new home that even when my husband walked into it, he's like, I didn't think I'd ever own a home like this. We were so excited. And he lost his job again. And my husband's a good man, but it's always been middle management, right? And they just take you first. So we couldn't get that house. I had to pivot. I had to pivot because I was dealing with a very low and depressed husband. And he couldn't get out of that pit right away. So I had to figure it out. And I had to find a place for us to live. And I lived with a lot of fear for a very long time. So my life is not perfect and it's been hard. And I know many of you have and are going through way harder than I've been through. But do you think I wanted to show up during this time? Heck no, I did not. I wanted to hide from the world. But I showed up. And I didn't always have my Zoom on because of the emotions I was carrying. I didn't want people to see my face because I knew the minute they saw my face, I would burst into tears. Big surprise. Showing up was a gift. It was a gift to me to show up. It was a gift to continue to take care of my team because they were my community and they were my support. And that lifted me up. And they continued to believe in me when I was lacking belief in myself. So when your life is hard and you don't feel like showing up, that's exactly when you should. And that's exactly when God will provide the big lessons for you, whether it's through what someone says or through a simple chat message of someone saying they love you and they're thinking about you. You're going to get what you need. And honestly, I said at the beginning that showing up can be the hardest thing, but you know what? It's the easiest. You plug in a number and you press join. It is the easiest possible thing you can do to grow yourself. And isn't it such a gift that we have so many Zooms and calls that we can connect to for free to grow you? That's such a gift. And know this, that as you make a commitment to grow yourself and grow your belief in yourself, the enemy is going to fight against it. He's going to bring you hard seasons of life. He's going to bring you down. He's going to want to discourage you. He's going to want to just feed you with the wrong things. He's going to try to put the wrong people in. He's going to make it so that your car breaks down and you can't get to a meeting. Like he's going to do everything in his power to fight against it. So you have to be super vigilant. When you decide to grow and build your belief, you have to be so vigilant of what is happening and what is going on within your mind so that you can assess and fight against it and keep growing and keep going. Your growth and your belief in yourself, this company, it depends on it. This company depends on us to believe in ourselves. That's what we need. And the people meant to be on your team, they're depending on you to grow yourself, to show them how to find you by shining your light so flippin' bright that they can't help but see it through all the other noise and all the other people. They see you. And I learned this past weekend how to finally love myself and truly see myself for the leader I've become. I didn't before. Like I would take compliments and it was like water running through a bathtub, draining out of the bathtub, right? We've seen Jill Lynn do that amazing representation. Water in, water out. It was just a compliment. I was more worried about everybody else around me because how could I possibly really know what a leader I am when I kept comparing myself to all the other leaders in the company. So instead, I would stack up disbeliefs, comparison, and how I thought everybody was doing better than I was and better than I was. And like, no, you cannot possibly talk about your struggles, Tanya, because no one else is going through them. How is everyone else? I mean, they have the perfect life. False. It's all flippin' false. It's all false. I saw it this weekend. And I'm sharing all of this again because I want to be relatable to you. I want you to know that if I can do this business and become an executive, you can too. Okay. And it won't always look the same for everyone. Get this, okay? I'm in this networking group, and there's this mastermind within the networking group. And the woman that runs the mastermind, she dresses great. She has a fantastic smile. She's, she's pretty. She walks with so much confidence, and she has a Melaleuca business, and she's very successful, and like everyone knows that. There's like over 200 women in this networking group, and they all respect her very much. She runs this mastermind. I'm in this mastermind. And every time I'm around this woman, I'm intimidated, and I dim my light. I think she's better than me. She's got a huge successful business. Like, I do not represent what I've done. But you know what? Last month, she does this mastermind, and she's talking about tracking your numbers. And she gets raw with all of us and tells us what her numbers are. And do you know what her numbers are? They're exactly what mine are. Numbers are what mine are. What the heck? And on top of that, she uses like a click funnel. She uses not funnel, click funnel, but she like hires people to find people for her, and she interviews them. I don't do that. I find my own people, and I have the same business she does, but no one would ever know it because I don't allow it. I don't walk in it. I just like, right? You get stuck in these beliefs of what you think you don't have, and you forget what you have done. And the fact that you even said yes to this, and the fact that you're here, there's that 80-20 rule, right? 20% do it, 80% of the people do the little bit. But anyway, I want you to know too, that in your own community, there may be a man or a woman walking around right now in your own community or in your circle, and they're presenting themselves and looking like they have it all figured out. And in the meantime, they're living in an apartment, and what you see is the only nice outfit they own. But you're looking at it as they've got it all together. And in the meantime, they're probably just starting out, or they're in the midst of building also. I've heard that from the worry stage, a woman that used to get ready in her car. She would go to hotels to use the bathroom because she was so broke, but she would make herself look like $1 million with every meeting she went into because she acted like the person that she was going to become. She believed enough in herself to treat herself with enough respect to show up like she knew who she had the ability to become. So do not create that false narrative of what you see other people doing. You stick to your story. You don't worry about other people's stories. Use other people's stories for inspiration. You don't compare yourself. So in closing, I'm going to end early. It's just the way it is, I guess. I want you to take assessment of what you're doing right now in your life to grow. I want you to take assessment of what you're doing to grow yourself and how you're growing belief in you. And if you're just relying on these Zooms and you're just relying on information and inspiration from your upline, it's not enough. You've got to be reading books. You've got to be listening to podcasts. You've got to be growing your faith. You've got to be growing your relationship with your spouse. You've got to be growing your relationship with your children. You've got to work hard, and that is hard work. But that work that you do with the people closest to you, I'm telling you, that's the perfect way to start to build your belief. Be careful of what you're feeding your mind. So what are you doing, and are you doing enough? And how are you utilizing your time? What are you filling your mind with? Is it growing you or is it numbing you? You have to take assessment of that. So how do you treat your business like a Louis Vuitton purse? You treat yourself like one. With care, compassion, love, nurturing, and grace. And you love yourself enough, or you borrow the love from someone else, Vicki, to keep consistency in finding your own love for yourself. It took me 12 and a half years to have that aha moment. Isn't that nuts? But I didn't stop. I kept doing the work. And as you grow in love for yourself, you find your voice, you attract others to your light, and then you hold on to that light and that love that you've gotten, and you just give it away again and again and again to other people. And that is the gift. And that's what we're supposed to do. And I'm done. I don't have anything else.
Amazing, amazing, Tanya. I'm going to stop the recording, but I want you, before you log off, to go through the chat and just realize the impact that you're having on people with such a raw, emotional, truthful conversation. I'll never forget the time we were at the fire pit sitting around there talking about you getting, I think it was $2,000 a month out of this business, and how much further that you've gone with it. Humans are messy, and nobody has that perfect picture. It might look like it from the outside, but we all go through those ups and downs. So just embrace what people are saying about you and enjoy that. Love you.
Thank you. Love you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here.